All right, so we got the iPad Air versus the regular iPad A16. Now these are both 11-inch displays, and what I'm going to be testing specifically is the iPad Air worth the laminated display? That's all I care about. I want less reflections. When I was testing the A16 chip, it was plenty fast, and I don't need any of those other fancy features. I don't need the Pencil Pro or any of that other stuff. So is the display, the laminated display, worth it? Let's find out in this video. Now I am going to put a screen protector, and I've heard that putting on a screen protector will increase the reflection. So it kind of defeats the purpose of spending more money on the iPad Air. Now this one is supposed to be a matte finish. And yes, perhaps I could have put the A16 with a matte screen protector, but that air gap between the top of the screen and below, I just think it's going to cause a lot of issues. I just don't trust it. I think it's still gonna increase the overall reflections. And spoiler alert, I went to Best Buy and I compared both these iPads side by side, and I definitely saw a difference between them too. So I think the answer obviously is it's definitely going to be worth paying the extra couple $100 to get the iPad Air, but let's find out. And another thing I want to test is how are the speakers? I'm really using this iPad Air or iPad in general simply for media consumption and an emergency backup to remote into my Mac Mini. And I just want to be able to have a really good media experience. And I don't want these reflections to kind of get into my eye. I noticed that when I was using the iPad A16 in my regular room, I was kind of getting headaches from all the reflections. It was really annoying. And this is not something I really noticed with the Samsung Tab S8, which is an Android tablet I've had for a very long time. So with that in mind, let's unbox the iPad Air. And spoiler alert, I've already unboxed the A16. It's right here. It's a fantastic little thing. I love being able to just go. You can see my reflection, by the way. It's going to be a little bit difficult with all these studio lights, but my favorite application is to go into Jump Desktop, and connect right into my Mac Mini. It's absolutely amazing. And I can pair it with a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and I can just work on remotely. Let's say I'm on vacation, I need to triage something very important. I can depend on this, hopefully, connect to my Mac Mini remotely from international places and fix a bug, for example, because I'm a programmer. It really does suck to put a screen protector on this better screen. Obviously, it might increase the reflections if you use a non-matte display. Apparently with matte screen protectors, because it has more grooves, it can get more fingerprints more naturally, and they're harder to remove because it's not a flat surface. And obviously the screen resolution is going to be affected. But you know, I want to protect my screen. I want to just throw this iPad around and not have to worry about the scratches on the screen. I've actually always had a screen protector on my Samsung S23, and this is the official screen protector, and I absolutely love it. I don't have to worry about cleaning it with Lysol in order to sanitize it and remove the oleophobic coating on it. I don't have to ruin it, and they do such a good job. Samsung is really good at providing really good screen protectors, OEM ones. Oh my God. So you can see side by side, you can totally see the camera, my face and everything here. It's like a mirror. It's crazy bad. It's absolutely awful. And then here, I'm gonna try and hold it the same. See that reflection? Basically nothing. Can barely see my face. I'll do that one more time. I'm gonna go right in the middle of this frame. I'm gonna hold it. You can see my face. This is awful. So when I was in the Best Buy comparing them side by side, and thank goodness Best Buy had a very good side by side comparison because Costco did not. This is just awful. I think in 2026, you know, you're gonna be buying the next generation. Just be very mindful of this. Yes, it's a really good deal. The processor is great, and obviously when you have a white screen, let's say you're not using dark mode most of the time, you're gonna be fine. But in those dark moments in the movies, when you're watching movies with kind of like a dark background, like you're watching like a Oppenheimer movie, it's just not gonna be fun. Check this out. So we held that there. Night and day difference. Absolutely insane. My camera can't even focus because it's not really making a difference. It's not seen. Yes, I do have some fingerprints on this, but just ignore that. It's just absolutely awful. This iPad is going straight back to Costco. Very bad, very bad. I wanted to save some money and not spend an extra $150, but And there's the Pogo right here. I'm going to get the Smart Folio keyboard, and I'm going to have a great tablet experience. I don't need a trackpad. Okay, so let's put on the screen protector. I mean, it's pretty definitive. Like, look at that. This is the night and day difference. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know if these gloves make a difference. All right, so first we gotta do the alcohol. Even though I unboxed this straight from the factory, there's some dust particles. Let's hope it's not defective too. I don't wanna have to buy a new screen protector. Honestly, I kind of wish I just didn't need a screen protector. Yeah, it's hard to get all this dust off. I hope this doesn't affect the oleophobic coating. All right, so that was a long install, and I think it's a little bit misaligned. Hopefully this doesn't affect the Smart Folio keyboard. On this side, it's, yeah, some little bit bubbles here, but yeah, it took a while. But I have to say, it looks really nice. I mean, look at that. Basically, I mean, these are big studio lights. There's a big light bar over there, but the studio lights completely dispersed or diffused. That's the word, diffused. So, I mean, I don't know how much this is going to affect the screen quality, but we'll find out shortly. I'm going to turn this bad boy on. Let's hope this works. Imagine it's like a lemon of a unit. Okay, not bad so far. It feels really smooth. Like, I like that. Very nice so far. Yeah, it does decrease the resolution just a bit. It does make it a little bit more matte, but imagine paying so much money for a matte display. You have to get the 1 terabyte model on the Pro. You can't even get it on the iPad Air. So, I mean, this is a pretty good compromise. This is pretty amazing. I mean, it feels like a nano texture display. It adds a little bit of thickness. So one of the reasons why I prefer to have a screen protector is that I really like to clean the screen pretty vigorously. And I find that cleaning the screen with no screen protector, I feel like it's going to eventually wear and tear the oleophobic coating. So at least with a screen protector, you can replace that coating. Now, I don't know if I like the matte look forever. I can definitely tell that the resolution is much decreased compared to this one over here, the A16 without any screen protector. And I don't know if it's worth the trade-off. Maybe you use your iPad for the first year or two, and then when you don't care about it, you just take it off and then you kind of enjoy. Now, one thing I immediately noticed when I applied the screen protector, not only is the matte really nice and it does very effective job, but it's just ultra smooth. And this is the thing that I was looking for. I was looking for a matte screen protector that was not that stupid paper-like thing. Not everyone who uses an iPad is an artist or needs to draw with the Apple Pencil. This is pure media consumption, productivity, whatnot. Probably not even productivity, just pure media consumption. And I really don't think I would want a grainy feel. And everything online when you would try to purchase for this iPad Air is all geared towards artists, and they want that perfect gritty feel, whatever. And yeah, that's something that I definitely do not want. All right, so here are them side by side. You can see the reflection over here and absolutely no reflection. And I want to make it fair, so I'm going to flip the two, put them on the same side in case there's any. You can compare the before and after there. Yeah, completely erased. That's very impressive. So not only do we have the laminate display, there's less of an air gap, and you can definitely see that air gap if I kind of get close here. It's kind of hard to show it. Yeah, it's really hard to show it. Anyways, quick shout out. I want to say that this app, you should download it if you live in Toronto. It basically gives you TTC predictions on when the next bus is coming. And yeah, it would support the channel if you check it out. More features are to come. I just recently released it on the iPad. Anyways, back to the main program. Let's increase the brightness of both to make it fair. The can see reflection of the camera there. Here you can basically see nothing. Let's do a close-up of the resolution. Yeah, so one of the things I want to say is if you are in dark mode, this is way better. And so it's just very distracting. Like you can see the plant. There's a really bright light bar over here. It just completely hits my eye. And there's absolutely nothing here. So very impressive, the matte display. Now, I would have loved to test the iPad Air without the matte display to give a more apples to apples comparison, but take my word, I'm gonna run some B-roll of me being in Best Buy with no screen protector on both, and you can see a stark difference. So when we're in light mode, there isn't that much of a difference, to be honest. In fact, you could see that this screen is a little bit more cooler. This is a little bit more warm. Yeah, so if you're predominantly using the iPad in a widescreen mode, maybe for your kids, they don't really care about it. So then, yeah, maybe you just don't really care about the more expensive screen. But I have to say, I really do like this. I think it's gonna cause less headaches. And they're good in the studio if I'm using this as a monitor. All right, let's test the speakers now. So for the first test, I'm not gonna test music. I just wanna test regular YouTube videos of people talking. That's probably what I'm gonna be using this iPad for. Just consuming content on YouTube, mostly tech news and stuff like that. So let's play the iPad Air.
Is going to absolutely dominate the PC. It is better than you think, especially with the RAM.
So honestly, not a big difference. Okay, let's watch a Marvel one.
You got this, man. You got this, man.
Okay, so not a big difference in that. There's not enough music happening there, so. Okay, so my conclusion is I think the iPad Air has slightly more bass, maybe higher mids, but it's such a small difference. I wouldn't upgrade from the A16 to the Air if you're really concerned about audio, because the step up is very, very marginal. It's almost imperceptible. And I'm a little bit disappointed because a lot of reviews said, you know, it was substantially better, even at medium or max volume. Not a big difference. Yeah, maybe a little bit more bass, but very disappointing overall. Now, that's not to say these speakers are bad for an 11-inch thin display, but I just was expecting more for the iPad Air, unfortunately. So that was one of my reasons why I jumped over the fence to get the iPad Air for better audio, but it's not that much better. But overall, it's still very good for my use cases. Now, one of the things is that I noticed that the A16 is pretty laggy when it comes to animations. But I'd say they're about the same now. Maybe something settled on that A16. All right, let's do one more test. All right, 1, 2, 3. Which one opens faster? Yeah, a little bit faster on the Air, but very imperceptible. 2, 3. Okay. Let's try a different app. 2, 3. Honestly, about the same. Literally the same time. So yeah, there's not that much difference. The single core performance of the A16 is very good. So I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference unless you're doing like heavy video editing on the M3, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I really did pay a lot of money maybe to future-proof it or for the slightly better screen. But it makes me wonder if I had the this same matte screen protector on this display, would it pretty much yield the same result? That to me kind of hurts inside. Maybe my recommendation is, because the speakers are not that great, the perceived single core difference is not a big difference between the two, then perhaps you're gonna be better off saving some money, not buying the more expensive one and putting on a screen protector. So let me know in the comments section if this particular case by Mothka. Let me know if you have an A16 and you put this tempered glass with a matte finish, not the paper-like stuff. I don't want any paper grittiness. Let me know if it's pretty much the same as having a screen protector on the iPad Air, and you pretty much eliminate the reflections. That would be a huge hack, and then you don't need to upgrade. And you're probably watching this video in 2026. These are 8 months old already. The new generation's coming out. This will have an M4, pretty much the same form factor, and then this one will have the A19 Pro or A18 Pro, I believe, and that's going to be a very fast chip. In fact, it's probably going to be almost better than the M3, at least in single core performance. and you're just gonna, I don't know, just save money, get this and put the matte screen protector, and let me know in the comment section down below if it's better. However, if you are not committed to using any screen protector, then this is definitely worth the extra cost, and with the side effect of maybe some extra future proofing. I don't plan on doing any real productivity tasks like editing, so the M3 chip is kind of a waste. The special feature, the Apple Pencil Pro, the USB-C, faster USB-C, the output to the display with getting full resolution and with all the multitasking, like the DeX-like Samsung experience, I just don't care about that. So maybe I've wasted my money and I should have just kept this with the matte screen protector. The one thing I am looking forward to though is the pogo pin here. I'm going to be attaching a very old 2021 Smart Folio screen. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.